DWHDailyNews.com.
Jay Peterson here from Peterson Insurance, your Pekin Insurance agent in Clinton, Farmer City, and Maroa. Find out how Pekin Insurance can give you peace of mind by clicking our icon at DWHDailyNews.com.
From the Heart Media Group newsroom and DeWittDailyNews.com, I'm Ben Hubbard with this expanded morning newscast. Good morning and thanks for being with us. I'm your host today, Ben Hubbard. You're listening to the WHOW Morning Show. A local nonprofit has received a designation that will broaden the scope of what it can do. Ron Sprigg with the Friends of the Warner Library explains that they have applied for and been awarded 501c3 status by the Internal Revenue Service. This designation is important because it allows them to apply for grants that they could not before due to a lack of that status.
Something that springboards off of that. Another addition I mentioned last time, and we're getting ready, that all the fundraising that we've done in the 48 and a half years that we've been in existence has been local. Mm-hmm. We have applied for and received 501c3 status, which is the IRS designation that you guys are a worthy nonprofit, which makes us eligible to go out and beat the bushes for grants on a national basis now. So we'll be talking to bigger philanthropic organizations and corporations. I used to sit on a board of an endowment, and our first question to somebody that wanted funds was, do you have 501c3 status? If you don't bother talking to us. And that was our position. Now, there are many grants that the library is not eligible for because they're a governmental agency. But the Friends is not a governmental agency. And so we will now start widening our approach.
Emily Dunham, adult program coordinator at the library, says this will benefit them greatly. Any grants that are received by the Friends will be directly gifted to the library or used in a project that will benefit it.
That benefits the library in so many ways. There's things that we can't apply for, like he said, since we are not a 501c3, so we can go through the Friends. And I don't know if you guys have to apply for it. I'm not quite totally, but they could apply for a grant, then gift that grant to us or some way. And some like programs you can have only if you're a 501c3. So then if we go through the Friends, then we can have that program at the library.
Once again, getting back to square one, it is the library staff that calls the shots as to where the money is spent.
Yeah. Okay. So we fill out forms and we say, hey, Friends, we want to do A, B, and C. Here's how much that would cost us. Here's why we want to do it and why we think it would be great. And then we give that information to the Friends, and then they kind of talk about it, and then they can prioritize the money where they think that we would receive it best.
One of the, on top of their support of the summer reading program, Sprigg says they have supported the library in numerous ways over their 48 years of existence. In recent history, it has been projects like the outdoor reading pavilion.
Well, there is a small room downstairs when we're not under construction that is open so that if you want to browse and you see a book that you're interested in, that. And we have helped with, last summer there was the Monarch program that, and it was raining that day. And so we were under the brand new pavilion with the little kids. And that was a lot of fun.
To learn more about and get involved with the Friends of the Warner Library, find them on Facebook. Keep up with all the latest from the library at vwarner.org. Get news anytime from your computer or your mobile device at DeWittDailyNews.com.
Looking for a provider who puts your health first? SIU Family Medicine is accepting new patients. Our care teams are here to keep you healthy, whether you're managing a chronic condition or staying on top of preventative care. With expert physicians and compassionate care, we're here to help you take the next step in your health. Call 217-735-2317 today to schedule your first appointment. That's 217-735-2317. SIU Medicine. forward for you.
Our local hospitals are the heartbeat of our communities, delivering critical care every hour of every day for everyone, training the next generation of caregivers. Beyond the walls, their benefit to the community is everywhere, driving the local economy and supporting local organizations, initiatives, and neighbors. Illinois Hospitals, healing communities. Learn more at team-iha.org. Sponsored by the Illinois Health and Hospital Association. Aired in cooperation with the Illinois Broadcasters Association and this station.
DeWittDailyNews.com is the area's leading local news source 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. Get the latest local news, obituaries, police blotter, weather forecast, and more with no paywall. Head to DeWittDailyNews.com to get the local information you need to know.
Netflix buffering, YouTube spinning, devices not connecting, Zoom calls dropping. It's frustrating. Let's end your frustration by signing up for fiber internet in Clinton. Click the Connexus icon at DeWittDailyNews.com.
From the Hart Media Group Sports Desk, IL Sports Wire, and DeWittDailyNews.com, I'm Ben Hubbard with this local sports report. The Illinois State baseball program fell to Indiana State 6-1 Sunday afternoon at Duffy Bass Field. With the defeat, the Redbirds dropped to 22-14 overall and 6-6 in the Missouri Valley Conference play. Indiana State struck first with a 2-run homer to open the scoring in the contest and take a 2-0 lead in the top of the second inning. Trailing early, the Redbirds pulled a run back in the bottom of the fourth as Camden Karchewski doubled down the left field line to score Josh Outlaw to cut into the Sycamore lead and make it 2-1. Despite allowing the early 2-run homer, Luke Teschke bounced back by tossing 3 straight scoreless innings and allowed 1 hit to maintain a 1-run deficit for the Redbirds. In the sixth, the Sycamores grew their advantage to 3-1 with an RBI double after the first 2 batters for Indiana State reached on a walk and a single. The Sycamores later extended their lead on a ground out to move the score to 4-1. The Redbirds looked to claw back in the 7th as back-to-back walks from Braden Zillis and Peyton McHarg walked to open the frame. With 2 runners on, sophomore Braden Bakes singled to load the bases for Illinois State. Despite the jam, the Sycamores capitalized off an inning-ending double play to maintain its 3-run advantage. In the top of the 8th, the Sycamores added a run off a solo homer to grow their lead to 5-1. Indiana State later tallied another run in the top of the 9th to move its advantage to 6-1. Trailing entering the 9th, the Redbirds tried to rally once more after 3 walks loaded the bases for Illinois State. With pressure ramping late, Indiana State secured the final out to secure its 6-1 win Sunday afternoon. The Illinois Fighting Illini fell to New Orleans 8-7 in 10 innings in the series finale on Sunday afternoon at Illinois Field. Aiden Flynn was fantastic on the mound across his first 4 innings, retiring the first 13 batters he faced while finishing with a career-high 10 strikeouts. He fanned 7 straight hitters between the first and third frames, striking out the side in the second and third innings. Sam Mommer went 1.1 scoreless innings with a strikeout. Reed Gannon tallied 3 strikeouts in his 2 innings of work. He had at least 3 strikeouts for the 5th time this season. Ike Young fanned 3 batters across his 2 innings. He posted 3+ strikeouts for the 5th time. He has multiple strikeouts in 4 straight appearances. Kyle Shupman recorded 2 hits, while Michael Farina and Will Johannes both tallied 2 RBIs. Colin Jennings hit his team-leading 9th home run of the season on his 440-foot long ball in the 4th, while A.J. Putty's homer in the 8th was his 5th of the year and his first at Illinois Field. J.R. Nelson reached on a walk and recorded an RBI. Illinois falls to 18-16 and 7-8 in the Big Ten. They continue its 3-week homestand with a midweek matchup against SIUE on Tuesday night at 6 p.m. Tanner Murray hit his first major league home run. Colson Montgomery also connected, and the Chicago White Sox outlasted the Kansas City Royals 6-5 on Sunday after the first pitch was pushed back 3 hours because of rain.
The White Sox offense finally came to life on Sunday as the Sox earned a series split with a 6-5 win over the Royals, fueled by the long ball.
0-2. Murray hits a fly ball to left, and it's deep. Back on it, Collins. Way back there. It's a home run.
The Sox clung to a 1-run lead in the 8th when Dustin Harris delivered the play of the game.
1-0 pitch is hit high in the air out into right. It's deep. Harris is back. He's at the fence, and it is caught!
After an off day, the Sox return home for 3 against the Rays starting on Tuesday when Sox top pitching prospect, 6'10", flame-throwing lefty Noah Schultz will make his major league debut. I'm Jeff Meller, and I'll have your pregame coverage starting at 6 p.m. on the ESPN 1000 Hard Rock Casino White Sox Network.
Left-handed pitcher Noah Schultz makes his major league debut on Tuesday for the White Sox when they host left-handed pitcher Shane McClanahan and the Tampa Bay Rays. Wilson Contreras homered against his former team and matched a career high with 4 hits, leading the Boston Red Sox past the St. Louis Cardinals 9-3 on Sunday. Trevor Story also had 4 hits for the Red Sox. Contreras launched a 2-run shot in the second inning and finished with 3 RBIs. He was acquired by Boston from St. Louis in a December trade. Contreras singled in the 3rd, 4th, and 7th before popping out to left field in the 9th. It was his 8th career 4-hit game and first since June of 2023 with the Cardinals against the Chicago Cubs in London. Brayan Bello allowed 2 runs and 6 hits over 6 2/3 innings in his 100th career start. Jordan Walker hit his major league leading 7th home run in the 2nd for St. Louis. Alec Burleson also went deep, but Andre Palante gave up 7 runs and 10 hits in 5 innings. Jarren Duran lined a 3-run double over Cardinals center fielder Victor Scott II's head and later scored in the 4th to put Boston ahead 7-1. Roman Anthony gave the Red Sox a 3-0 lead in the 2nd when he drove in Trevor Story on a 1-out bases-loaded grounder to shortstop Thomas Sajaci, who was forced to throw out at first after Cardinals second baseman J.J. Weatherholt was tardy covering the bag at second. Cardinals left-handed pitcher Matthew Liberatore faces Cleveland right-handed pitcher Gavin Williams to begin a 3-game home series Monday night. Michael Busch ended an 0-for-30 slide with a tying 2-run single in the 8th inning, and Carson Kelly had a winning single in the 9th as the Chicago Cubs overcame a 5-run deficit to beat the Pittsburgh Pirates 7-6 on Sunday. Brandon Lowe hit a grand slam and a solo homer off Jamison Talon, and O'Neal Cruz homered leading off the game for Pittsburgh, which led 5-0 before a 3rd inning solo homers by Dansby Swanson and Moises Ballesteros against Bubba Chandler. Lowe's 5th inning homer boosted Pittsburgh lead to 6-2, but Chicago closed on Alex Bregman's sacrifice fly in the bottom half. Swanson scored from 3rd in the 7th on an infield fly by Bregman as Lowe, the second baseman, fell while catching the ball in short right field. Busch, benched from the starting lineup, pinch hit from Matt Shaw with 2 outs in the 8th after a pair of walks by Justin Lawrence, and looped an opposite field hit single to short left that tied the score at 6-6. Pinch hitter Michael Conforto doubled off Jose Urquidy, leading off the 9th, and with the bases loaded and 1 out, Kelly hit a 381-foot drive that landed in the right center warning track. Daniel Palencia pitched around a walk in the 9th. Talon struck out 10, allowing 6 runs, 6 hits, and 2 walks in 6 innings. Lowe hit his 2nd multi-homer game this season. Cubs right-handed pitcher Javier Assad starts Monday at Philadelphia, which starts Christopher Sanchez. Ryan Nembhard broke Dallas coach Jason Kidd's club rookie record with 23 assists after number 1 pick Cooper Flagg's debut season ended with an ankle injury, and the Dallas Mavericks beat the Chicago Bulls 149-128 in a season finale Sunday night. John Poulikidas scored 28 points to lead the Mavericks in a meeting of also-rans that more closely resembled a summer league game. Muso Cisse had 17 points and 20 rebounds, which tied Roy Tarpley's rookie club record from 1986 and 87. Flagg scored 10 points in 10 minutes before exiting with a sprained left ankle in the second quarter. Rob Dillingham scored 25 points for the Bulls. Tyler Smith and A.J. Johnson scored 20 points apiece for Dallas, as both teams had 8 players in double figures, including all 9 who came off the bench. Nembhard, who scored 15 points, set a franchise record in assists in a regulation game. The journey back to the winner's circle of a major championship took 3,899 days for Rory McIlroy to achieve when he finally completed the career Grand Slam by winning the 2025 Masters. To claim his next, he only needed to wait 364 more. McIlroy on Sunday became the first player in more than 2 decades to claim back-to-back green jackets, winning the 2026 Masters by 1 shot over one of the strongest groups of contenders seen at Augusta National Golf Club. McIlroy, who finished 12 under, ensured no other golfer would be present in Butler Cabin just off the 18th green by pulling off in 2 years what he struggled to achieve in 16 prior trips to Augusta. In achieving his landmark feat, McIlroy found the winner's circle despite coughing up the Masters record 6-shot lead he held after 36 holes. Seeing his advantage evaporate on Saturday, he entered Sunday's final round tied for the lead with Cameron Young, who finished 10 under. It was his 7th 54-hole lead at a major in McIlroy's career. His driving accuracy was just .553, tied for 52nd among the 54 golfers who made the cut, and the worst ever by a Masters champion since the statistic began being recorded in 1990. However, his knowledge of the intricacies of Augusta National allowed him to atone for his mistakes. McIlroy graded his scrambling and work around the greens as an A+. His 65 on Friday was the stuff of legend, vaulting him to 12 under and firmly in control of the tournament. His 73 on Saturday appeared to be the old Rory leaking through the new facade. On Sunday, McIlroy again seemed ready to give away the tournament. A double bogey on the 6th seemed to be his undoing, but the Northern Irishman rallied with birdies on the 7th and 8th to make the turn a 1 shot behind Justin Rose, whom McIlroy beat in the 2025 Masters playoff. A 13-foot par putt on the 11th seemed to settle down the defending champion after a few misses in the first 9. That secured him the honors on the 12th tee, where he hit arguably the best shot of the tournament, carving a 9-iron to 7 feet right of the traditional Sunday holes location that has sunk so many championships in the past. After rolling that in, he finally avoided the right trees on the 13th for the first time all week and put his second to the back left. And up and down, capped off with an 11-footer back up the hill, moved him to 13 under for the first time all week and gave him a 3-shot cushion over his competitors. McIlroy was unable to go lower, posting pars on numbers 14 through 17, but unlike 2025 when he held just a 1-shot advantage over Rose entering the 18th, he had a 2-shot cushion on Sunday. A wayward tee shot well right added more stress than he would have preferred, but his miss was big enough that he had a clear window to hit a draw over the tree and patrons short and right of the green to get greenside in 2. From there, he needed just to get up and down in 3, and his bogey at the last still allowed McIlroy to finish ahead of Scheffler and claim his historic 2nd straight Masters. In scores from around the NBA last night, the Miami Heat beat the Atlanta Hawks 143-117, while the Toronto Raptors routed the Brooklyn Nets 136-101. The Charlotte Hornets beat the New York Knicks 110-96, while the Detroit Pistons took down the Indiana Pacers 133-121. The Philadelphia 76ers had a 20-point win over the Milwaukee Bucks 126-106, while the Orlando Magic fell to the Boston Celtics 113-108. The Cleveland Cavaliers beat the Washington Wizards 130-117, while the Denver Nuggets took down the San Antonio Spurs 128-118. The LA Clippers beat the Golden State Warriors 115-110, and the Houston Rockets took down the Memphis Grizzlies 132-101. The Minnesota Timberwolves beat the New Orleans Pelicans 132-126, And the Phoenix Suns took down the Oklahoma City Thunder 135-103. The Portland Trailblazers beat the Sacramento Kings 122-110. And the LA Lakers routed the Utah Jazz 131-107. In MLB scores from Sunday, the Arizona Diamondbacks beat the Philadelphia Phillies 4-3, while the Baltimore Orioles took down the San Francisco Giants 6-2. The Minnesota Twins beat the Toronto Blue Jays 8-2, while the Athletics took down the New York Mets 1-0. The LA Angels beat the Cincinnati Reds 9-6, and the Detroit Tigers beat the Miami Marlins 8-2. The Tampa Bay Rays beat the New York Yankees 5-4, while the Washington Nationals beat the Milwaukee Brewers 8-6. The San Diego Padres beat the Colorado Rockies 7-2, while the Seattle Mariners beat the Houston Astros 6-1. The Texas Rangers took down the LA Dodgers 5-2, and the Atlanta Braves beat the Cleveland Guardians 13-1. In NHL scores from yesterday, the Washington Capitals shut out the Pittsburgh Penguins 3-0, while the Boston Bruins beat the Columbus Blue Jackets 3-2. The Montreal Canadiens beat the New York Islanders 4-1, while the New Jersey Devils took down the Ottawa Senators 4-3 in overtime. Also a 4-3 win in overtime was the Vancouver Canucks over the Anaheim Ducks, while the Calgary Flames beat the Utah Mammoth 4-1. Get highlights of your local high school program by finding IL SportsWire on your preferred social media platforms, and get local sports anytime at DeWittDailyNews.com.
Noah Atkinson here, as owner of Lincoln Printers and Sign Design.